So I got a lot. There was a lot to think about. Great conversations at the Shauna's conference. So far, today is gonna be the last day, half day, and I gotta run back to the airport, get back home. It's so funny. I brought the iPad to like record with, and I had this splitter thing here where I could plug it into the headphone jack, and you have the bit for the headphones and the bit for the microphone. So I was like, okay, cool. I already have this thing that I already use with the DSLR camera app at home, a 70D. I usually put it on top if it's close, or sometimes I'll mount it to the boom pole with this attachment here. It goes right on top of the tripod thing. And I was like, okay, I could bring this to get like maybe a little bit better audio than the iPad. And I stuck it in and recorded, and then I went to play back the video and didn't work. I wasn't hearing anything. I was like, oh my God, it was like it was 5 minutes. It wasn't like 5 minutes, it was 5 minutes. And I was like, God, I gotta record this whole thing over again. And before I went to record the whole thing over again, I went to play something else, and that didn't play either. I was like, oh wait, it could just be the volume. So I was trying to adjust the volume thing, and it kept saying headphones. I was like, why is it saying headphones? It wasn't plugged in. This wasn't plugged in anymore. And I realized that no matter kind of, like I did a couple different things, and it was still just registering at headphones. So after I put this thing in, this is the montage. After I put this whole contraption in, the iPad was stuck in registering as the headphones still being plugged in, even though nothing was plugged in. So I just restarted. When in doubt, the ultimate tech solution is to restart. Power off, turn back on. But as I was saying before, I got a lot out of the conversations, and I had a conversation with Sean about branding, and because my main thing is the Two Goobs brand, which is on the Two Goobs channel. You can find it everywhere. TWOGOOBS. GOOBS. And what I had done here, it was a proof of concept mixed with deliberate practice, and a little bit of a head thing I had where I'm saying to myself, Two Goobs has to have me and my fiance Emily involved in everything. Like, our hands have to touch it. Our hands have to touch it for it to count as a Two Goobs thing. And we aren't able to both record, to like both be physically there to record things on as much as I can. Her job requirements are way different than my job requirements, and I have an easier time sleeping for right now. We've been struggling to find a great sleep solution for her for years now. We got something now that's working. So I'm just like, you've had years of sleep preparations due. I don't want to touch your sleep at all. And so that's part of the reason why I really started doing the daily vlogs on this channel, because I was like, I might be talking about some random stuff and it might necessarily meet the guidelines of the scope of topics that we cover in the Two Goobs brand. So I was like, all right, I want to do more things, but I don't want to mess up the messaging of Two Goobs. So I branched out into this as a side, smaller thing. But it's growing. It's growing. It's growing is the point. And Shona brought up the fact that this might be split focus. I'm like, no, it's not split focus right now. I think it might be getting there, but it's not split focus right now. And he said, if you think you are, you are. I was like, oh my God, it was mind blown. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. It is getting there, because I am, I'm like ramping up certain things on there. I'm starting to do the website for this, well, re- retool, refresh, and reorient, because my current website for my own self personally is basically my old graphic design website. Um, and I haven't touched that in years. What I did do before I left, like when I was setting it up, I wanted to have a kind of automated updating thing. So on the first splash page, I don't know if I took it off actually. I remember someone was telling me about it. I don't know if I took it off, but I set up a splash page on the homepage where you see my Instagram feeds. I should probably check to see if that's still working. It's been a while. And I'm like, okay, at least if I'm not touching it, I could still have whatever I do on Instagram automatically updated. And I've been doing in October, so it should have all of those recent pictures up there. So, but it was very, I didn't realize that I was creeping towards split focus, and a lot of great information I've gotten for like illustrative things. I was like, okay, maybe I could tie this back into like I was at the question was really, should I tie it back into two groups or like keep them separate? And it was like that's split focus kind of stuff. And I'm gonna tie it back into two groups basically. So that's the nutshell story. And so I don't know exactly what it means for the vlog part of it, but I might just take this onto the Two Goops channel. Two Goops channel currently has a more polished. This is a MVP. This is a minimal viable product. This is how I always wanted to make it. Where it's like I'm sure I could always get it out. I've done it for about, I've done it since August 5th. I've missed maybe 2 days, and those were days I was heavily editing a two group video. So to me, I counted it as a day I got a video up because a video went up. It just wasn't on this particular channel, it was on the two groups channel. And I haven't missed, and then I was like, no, I don't want to miss any days at all. So after those two Sundays, I believe, like maybe the second Sunday and the third Sunday in August, after those two Sundays, I haven't missed any more. But it's like, okay, cool, I can do this. I have been doing it. It's a habit. It's something I think about every day. Where is the video up? It's not up. I need to get a video up. It's like I'm not. If I'm talking to you and a video hasn't gone up, daily vlog, it's on my mind or the back of my mind, or giving me 5 minutes break, but it's gonna come back in the back of my mind and say, hey, I know you're having fun. I see you having fun there. Hey, you know, I don't mean to be rude. Sorry to interrupt, Kanye West style. But you got a video to do, so you can't get too happy because you got a video to do. And that's I could like there are a lot of projects and plans that we have that we chip away at on a two group site, but I can chip away at it even faster if I stop doing this stuff here. Like instead of doing this video now, I'm like, oh, I could be writing a script for something, or I could be sketching out something that I could ink and then have it ready to take to the computer when I get back to New York, or preparations, groundwork, idea brainstorming, further refining of ideas, pre-production, planning out. The more you plan out in pre-production, the less you have to do on the back end. So the point is, the daily vlog in its current form on this particular channel, this will, it's hard to say, this will be the last one of it in its current form on this particular channel. The Two Goops channel, same thing. Reddit, there it is, on YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. We have to really revamp the newsletter, the email newsletter. That's gonna get all of my attention. Like this was basically a pet side project sandbox, safe space to explore things without eroding the curation of the Tubes brand, but it's grown past that. And I didn't realize that until yesterday. So, uh, if you follow me, you like this content, I will having a minimal viable product go up so regularly kind of I got an itch for it now. So with me having the perspective of Emily not needing to physically be present to be involved, which was something I was like, two groups, we have to be both there. With that not being a barrier anymore, maybe I can take this over to that channel, curate the topics. I write down like 3, 5, 7 topic ideas every day for things I could talk about on here. So what happens with context is the same thing like when I do design work. One project at a time. Well, I don't do it for other people so much anymore because that's taken from time I could be spending doing Two Goob stuff, planning out this particular content, basically building up this Two Goob's platform and business. So that's why I don't really take on clients like that anymore. But taking that over to the Two Goobs, I actually lost my train of thought just now, explaining why I don't do client work, but taking those client skill, I'm still trying to remember what I was saying, but it's not working. So forget it. But it's gonna go over, everything's gonna be on that channel. Two Goobs. If you like, that's what I was gonna say. All right, if you like this particular aspect of it, I'll curate the topics more because I have so much to choose from. And as a designer, I remembered what it was now. Thank you for bearing with me. I could curate the topics and still have, maybe not set, like I'll have 7, but when I start looking at things through that particular lens, then I can zero in further from the topics that I would have talked about. So like recently I focused more on thought process, how do things, and art stuff. If you go back even further to August 5th and stuff like that, it's just random as hell. Literally, like finding what the voice is. I'm not gonna delete those because, they show the progression. But just take this over to that channel, curate the topics further so it is within the scope of, self-improvement, being vulnerable, communication, gratitude, and 2 others. I'm still finalizing the wording of the last 2, so I don't want to make it too wordy, but so if you like this stuff, Two Goobs, go to Two Goobs, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I'll still put up stuff on here, but just not on this scale consistency level. Two Goobs got to get all the attention. It'll just be like a side personal thing. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please feel free to ask me anything. But everything else further, like you're gonna see the drop. Everything else is gonna be Two Goobs.